Welcome to Artists on the Air. I'm your host, Ann J. White, and I'm excited to share a one-of-a-kind glass art environment called Phantasma Gloria. You're looking at it right now. And to make this treat even more fun, you will meet its creator and curator, Randlette King Lawrence, who you will soon discover is quite a character. It all started with a little blue bottle and a windowsill, and now it's an ever-changing marriage of art and nature, of light and color. So be prepared to be amazed not only by the art, but by Randy. We are now here with Randy. I promised you he would be a character. He does not disappoint already, you can see. So welcome, Randy. It's so
Oh,
nice to
I'm so
see you.
pleased to be here. Thank you.
This is your natural habitat?
Yes, it is. I found myself and many years ago desirous of creating exactly what you said, my own natural habitat, because it seemed like the built environment that I had choices of up to that point were woefully lacking, let's say, in terms of for my spirit, and I thought for other people's spirit. I thought there was something crazy about how conventional everything was. I mean, I'm all it's not like I think conventional's fine, but if it's all conventional, what does that do to the imaginations of young people like myself at the time? I thought, looking around, I thought, boy, we could be doing a lot more than we are here. What's up with that?
Exactly. And I want to take you back. Oh, maybe I'm going back 20 years, but I understand this started with a little blue bottle that was sitting on
Yes.
your windowsill. Can you tell us about that little blue bottle and what happened after that?
Yes, yes, yes. Well, at that time, I was swimming in the sea of despond. I think, and a Victorian writer might call that. I was really bummed out, even with totally first world problems, everything. But anyway, so there I was in that state, washing my dishes, and looking out the window above my kitchen window faces Mount Wilson and the San Gabriel Mountains. And the San Gabriels are this very steep escarpment towering over the Los Angeles, the Southern California area. And I had a teardrop shaped blue bottle, and it was full of water. And I saw this pale blue, discrete, tiny light blazing away inside it. And I put on my glasses and I leaned real close. I put down the joint I was smoking, and I looked inside the vessel, and there, lo and behold, were the 60,000 foot cumulus clouds, Mount Wilson, the sun, the palm trees in the medium ground here on the edge of Elysian Park, the trees in the immediate foreground, all shrunken and upside down, 2.5 inches tall. And I realized that a convex vessel that was solid glass or full of a transparent material like water becomes a convex lens, and which is what a crystal ball is. And a glass sphere is a wide angle fisheye, they call it fisheye or wide angle convex lens. And it takes the world and shrinks it and projects it upside down. And all of a sudden, I realized I could make giant mosaics by suspending big lenses, big convex vessels of various types, or concave, because they're lenses too, um, against the sky. So that I would be essentially be making mosaics out of 1,000 shining, shrunken skies. And if the sun was, on the opposite side of the array from where I was, the sun being, emitting all that light would be blazing away inside each one. So I would quite literally be making mosaics out of 1,000 shining suns. And the sun, of course, being a star, you're literally making giant mosaics out of a vast multiplicity of blazing stars. But with all the detail of the sky, also every little cloud, every anything that's happening in the sky, you see in perfect detail inside each one. Uh, and then between each one, as I started doing it, I realized that you would see that same sky, but on the vast scale of the dome of the Earth above us, right? And so it became clear very quickly that using this medium that I had totally stumbled upon what would be an ongoing psychedelic fractal experience.
It kind of ignited something within you, it sounds like.
Oh, it was well totally transformed my life at the moment that I was that had that realization. I had been depressed for some time, and so I thought, well, I can continue being depressed. Or feeling depressed. It wasn't clinical, I was functioning and all, but I just was feeling decidedly out of sorts. Um, but I thought, well, I could just feel out of sorts sitting on my butt, or I could feel out of sorts while I hung blue bottles from rebar in my front yard. And so I started doing that. And then as soon as I started doing that, I made a nautilus shape. It was the first thing I did, and put some in the foreground and some in the background. And it was so much farther beyond anything I could have imagined that I was really quite thrilled, and that thrill has stuck with me ever since.
Yeah.
And I've realized that it's a glorious medium that I want to not just share with the world, but to persuade the world to engage in. I well truly believe that so many people of any age, but especially young people who have developed their various artistic and dexterous talents earlier and in a much greater degree than myself will apply themselves to this medium and do God knows what with it, because it's the sun just pours down on you. Right now, we're not seeing it; we're seeing reflected light. But if it were the evening and the sun were on the other side, all these behind me, you would see blazing suns inside each bump in each one of these bottles. And so, really, and as you'll see from the pictures that you share with your viewers, so the future is extremely bright, quite literally, as well as metaphorically. But for the moment, I'm the greatest in the world because I'm the only one in the world.
And this is your yard, right? So this is your neighborhood, your house. I
This is
imagine
my
if you're
front yard.
well, Randy, right now I'm going to see if I can share screen. So now here comes my Luddite stuff. So Luddite in action. All right. And let me see. Are you able to see this picture that I have up now?
That,
Are we good?
yes, that particular image that you're looking at now is Justice beheading the god of gold.
Oh, that's just beautiful.
Thank
Let's see.
you.
Okay, who do we have here?
Oh well, it occurs to me that when one looks out at the appalling things that are going on in the world, it can be really quite daunting. And so this is a kind of a reflection of that. It's kind of a self portrait, not literally, but kind of emotionally.
And Randy, I think what is double with your art, you have that face, but then wherever you put it brings out with the negative space. So it must be a fun choice to decide where you're going to hang that.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what I mean. When you make images out of the open space, you give. This is just one example. If I changed its position and a different time of day, it would be a radically different image. Again, the basic the basic element in the medium is once again the sky itself, and the sky is so, as you know, so spectacular. It's the most incredible, epic, beautiful, sublime aspect to our visual experience in our lives, virtually every day of our lives. If we go bother to go outside and
This is the
around at
one
the
with you
bottom.
standing there in all of your
Right, so
glory.
that shows you the scale. She's standing above me now as we speak, you just can't see her because we're way too close to her. But this shows you the incredible potential of the medium. You can make these epic, giant, ever changing visions. She's become quite a landmark in the area. People encouraged me and told me that it means a lot to them, and I appreciate it. It stopped the tagging on my wall, and so she brought immediate peace to the neighborhood many years ago when I built her.
Oh, there you go. How tall do you think she is?
30 feet, maybe
Very
29
tall.
feet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. Scale. Yeah, there you go. And that's that. This is there's the version again, but farther back so you can see what's on the left and right of her. And that's just at sunset. Maybe in the coming home from work and sitting on my porch and beholding such things is really a salve to the soul. I find it very cathartic.
Oh, I can't even imagine it, Randy. I'm just going to go
Yeah,
through a few more then, because
that's a glass head full of water. And if we got very close to it, you would see that every convex portion, every bump on the face, the forehead, the cheeks, the chin, the nose, um, the back of the skull, every convex portion becomes its own distorted convex lens. Which captures the view or the array behind it. You can see this huge glass array behind it. You would see inside it. So what you're seeing now is would change and become even more intriguing as you got closer and closer to it. So it's really quite stimulating and intriguing visual experience, and I think that's what that was what the idea is.
but when looking at this, you probably can't see it, but I know you know they're there. The hands that are reaching up, what
Yes,
is the symbol or what was your thinking of those hands?
the the words of Elizabeth Barrett Browning's husband. She was this magnificent poet, but her husband evidently was no slouch himself as a wordsmith. And the one phrase that stuck in my mind and that came out that I thought of when I was seeing this was, if a man's reach does not exceed his grasp, then what's the heaven for? So it's my way of saying I'm reaching for what's beyond my grasp, and that's the only way to make something new and beautiful in the world.
I love it. What are the dimensions
Uh,
of your art?
well, right now the Phantasma Gloria is it wraps around, it stretches the 50 feet on the western edge of the property, but it's now wrapped around 25 feet on one side and maybe 12 on another. So it's approaching 100 feet long, and it stands above the street over 50 feet. But my house is on a hill directly above the street, and I have a big retaining wall, so it stands above the ground that I'm standing on now. This, what you're seeing behind me, is the very bottom of it. So it goes up 30 feet, easily 30 feet, maybe 35 feet above me.
One thing that I've been thinking about with this program, Artists on the Air, is the life of an artist. And we all have different lives and different motivations. Like you started maybe being depressed, saw the little blue bottle, and then everything exploded. But how would you define the life of an artist if you're talking about yourself?
I wasn't living according to my nature,
And what
and
is your
one
nature
and
then?
people's
Tell me
natures.
your nature.
The nature is to explore the sensory world, to figure out how to delight myself and others. It's my gift and my curse. It's my way of contributing to to the community. We don't live in isolation. We are profoundly social creatures, and we all have something to offer. Did I answer your question?
I think so. I'm going to go with your zest and your joy and your randiness.
There you go.
Yeah. So, Randy, I do want to thank you for being on our program. And I think I
Thank
would
you,
be
man.
remiss if I didn't ask you to close with the words I've heard you say many times, quoting Yogi Bear. Do you remember those words?
Oh, yabba dabba doo!